truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out, slowly feel all that's around you, all that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah. When we unite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Morning. Good morning and good morning. Welcome, everyone. So happy to have you here at Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. So nice to look around and see all the beautiful, shining, smiling faces. Thank you for being here because you could be literally anywhere else, including your bed. So thank you for choosing to take your precious time to be here with us and celebrate this place of abundance and peace where we believe in a world that works for everybody. Do we have any new first-time visitors? Wow, yay. Thank you, thank you. So if our vision and et cetera that I'm about to speak about rings true for you, then you are in the right place. Technology is great when it works. Okay, so every organization has a vision, a mission. We also chose values years ago, but we still use those same values because they really still hold true for our organization. So this is our vision, that we are a model center for spiritual living, as evidenced by the transformational impact we have here on this spiritual community, the CSL organization, because we are a worldwide organization, and our community at large, Ocala and beyond. Thank you. And our mission is to empower individuals to awaken to the power and the presence that lies within and all around them so that they may live their best lives. And our values, I'm going to say them, and if you feel so moved, feel free to repeat them after me. Spiritual growth and practice. Love. Appreciation. Community. Freedom. Creativity. Health and wholeness. Generosity. And financial well-being. Okay, so we're going to have a mindful moment, a meditative moment, and we're going to ask Galen Grigas to come up here and lead us in that.
Good morning, everyone. So happy to see you here this morning, and especially on this very interesting topic of dreams. This is a dream meditation. It's in the book. I also have it free on my website, so you can download it, but I want you to kind of immerse yourself in this topic. This is probably one of my favorite topics of all because it's the easiest way that we know each and every one of us access that non-ordinary state of consciousness, where we're touching into the source, where we're touching into healing, where we're touching into wisdom, where we're touching into our creativity. And it's so incredibly important. And it's with us every single night. We enter that space. But it's like a lot of things in our life. If we enter it with a mindfulness, if we enter it with a openness, if we enter it consciously, we can make that really a rich and wonderful time for us. It's almost as if we live two lives. Those of you who watch your dreams, do you ever feel that way? It's like I have a life here, and then when I dream, it opens up a whole new avenue. And if you're not experiencing that, I invite you to participate in that more fully, and I will give you tips and ways that we can do that together. And the first thing we're going to do today is a meditation. And I have a little song for you to kind of lead into this meditation. Dream time, wake up to your dream time. Dream time, wake up to your dream time. With your feet on the ground and your head in the stars, dance your dreams awake. With your feet on the ground and your head in the stars, dance your dream awake. And dream your dance awake. Dream time, wake up to your dream time. Dream time, wake up to your dream time. Yes, beautiful. All right. So let us enter into that time of meditation now, where we center ourselves. I'm going to do just a little bit of a relaxation and breathing together. It's a very simple way to ground ourselves to use the box breath. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that a few times together. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And pause, 2, 3, 4. And now back to your normal rhythmic breathing pattern. And let's just do a little bit of a body scan. Just as you're sitting there feeling the chair fully support you. Feet flat on the ground, uncrossing your legs and your arms helps with the circulation of energy, the flow of life and blood. And we give this time to just do a little bit of a body scan. See any part of your body where you may be holding on to tension, worry, fear, doubt. Let it go. Let's just make that noise together. Breathe in. Awesome. Let's do that again. And one more. Feel that tingling, feel that surge, that wonderful energy that follows when we release. Feeling yourself comfortably relaxed in your chair and listening to these words. I dream the dreams of my inner healing intelligence. I dream the dreams of my inner healing intelligence. My dreams draw me closer to my right fulfillment. My dreams are healing influences. They are messengers to me, creating, unifying, restoring, and renewing me. I breathe into that knowing. My dreams expand my consciousness into the cosmic consciousness so that I am more aware of the treasures of my life and have good success in the projects I am guided to undertake. My dreams bring me into a whole new relationship with my environment, with the world, with Gaia, with Mother Earth. My involvement with society is made more responsible and interesting. Negative thought patterns, old scripts, or stories about myself are revealed and constructively changed through the revelations in my dreams. All fears, inferiority feelings, hatreds, guilt, which are destructive, are shown to me clearly as undesirable. I'm shown my spiritual power and my deepest, deepest self-compassion, which transforms my whole soul into a healthier me. My dreams express my fuller potential and invigorate my life with infinite energy. Infinite energy. If it is important for me to remember a dream, I will remember it. My dreams affect my thinking, feeling, speech, and behavior patterns as I meditate and go about the everyday business of my life. I am much more intuitive. I am much more empathic and highly aware. I know the things I need to know easily. I know the things I need to know easily. Let us affirm that together. I know the things I need to know easily. Yes. Good flows to me from every direction. Good flows to me from every direction. Once more, good flows to me from every direction. And I am grateful. Together, I am grateful. And so it is. Take a nice deep breath and let it go. And open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. We have a very special treat for you today. Joyful Noise is going to be sharing their music, their drumming, their essence of love and healing through their music. I'm so very, very grateful for their sharing today.
Life can be what I make it to be. Everything real comes naturally. Magic is with me in a place I can see when I dream. When I dream. Dream of the mountains that one day I'll climb, or travel the oceans inside of my mind. Everything's possible, everything's fine when I dream. When I dream. When I dream. Anytime I go inside and ask the questions in my mind, relax and breathe and enjoy the let myself float on the wings of desire, turning that feeling of passion to fire. Letting go is all that's required when I dream. When I dream. Anytime I go inside and ask the questions in my mind, relax and breathe and enjoy the ride. Mystery adventure is waiting for me. I'll let myself float on the wings of desire, turning that feeling of passion to fire. Letting go is all that's required when I dream. 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 La 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 la
Yes.
Not yet?
There we go.
All right. Well, welcome this morning. I'm here to read a customer review for Galen's book, Psychedelics, Dreams, and Rituals. This is from Amazon, and it talks a little bit about why we're here today, what we're going to do about it, and a little bit about the book and Galen. So here goes the review. As a body-mind therapist and yoga teacher over many years, I have read many books on healing, taken many workshops, and strove endlessly to discover how to support others and myself in the healing process. When I came across this book, I was delighted to find that Miss Grigas had integrated information from dream work, sacred rituals, and the therapeutic effects of psychedelics into a powerful approach to healing others. She writes in an accessible and engaging way about her own journey and what she has learned as an experienced therapist. I felt like I'd finally found a resource in this book that spoke to the difficult problem of healing trauma by going to its source. I believe these methods will prove deeply helpful and effective for so many people who have PTSD, chronic pain, and other tough conditions. It gives us all hope. I'm so grateful to know about her work and to have this book. Let us welcome Galen back to the stage.
Yes. Thank you, Rita. Got this one. All right. Thank you so much, Rita. Wow. What a delight to be here with you today and speaking on dreams. We have been honoring Maria Sabina. As you may know, I dedicated the book to Maria Sabina. She was a Mazatec healer, and she worked with mushrooms. It's really fascinating to read her story because generationally she was a part of that culture. And she walked up into the mountains and she picked the mushrooms herself. They grew wild on the mountainside. And she called the mushrooms her children. And she spoke to them as if they were her children and the beloveds that helped in the healing process. And so she brought together not only the healing components that the psychedelic mushrooms can offer, but also the ritual and the ceremony, the love for the earth, the love for the mountain, and the love for her children, the mushrooms. And so I wanted to share just a little end of the poem because she was also a poet, wrote wonderful poems, and here's just the end of this. Get smarter every day by listening to your intuition, looking at the world with the eye of your forehead. Jump, dance, sing, so that you live happier. Heal yourself with beautiful love and always remember, you are the medicine. You are the medicine. Turn to someone on your right or your left and say to them, you are the medicine. And of course, I had a dream, many dreams, and I've been an avid journal keeper of my dreams for over 30 years now. You can only imagine how many journals I have. I did have to get rid of some of them during different moves in my life, but I do have a majority of my dream journals. And the dream that I had leading up to this is working in a house of healing with others. Isn't that a beautiful way to describe what we're doing right here today? We're in the house of healing with one another. All of us have gifts to bring. All of us are healers. All of us are healing. That's the message that my dreams came to share with you today. All of us have gifts to bring. Let's say that together. All of us have gifts to bring. All of us are healers. All of us are healers. All of us are healing. All of us are healing. And that is part of this journey that we do together here. And we thank Maria Sabina and her inspiration. And welcome to a community of travelers. As many of you know, I just got back from the Netherlands. I spent a month there. I went to the International Conference on Psychedelic Research while I was there in Haarlem, just outside of Amsterdam. And it was wonderful. And one of the things that I brought back, which was so amazing, kind of to me, I would say affirming to me, they were speaking on how important it is to have a community of people that you can connect with. And when you have that community of people, just like my dream had indicated, we share that healing energy together. We share a common theme of wanting to do this inner work, not just based on what's happened externally, but also what is happening internally for us. And I was thrilled because every time I heard them speak of community and how important it is to create community and have community and be a part of a community and what can we do to create community, I thought, we got it right here. We're swimming in it. We're like fish in the ocean. We have this right here. So I want you to turn to someone that you don't know very well and say, welcome to the community. Well, it was really interesting for me, too, to be in a country in the Netherlands where we're still kind of in our infancy in some ways with understanding how to integrate the psychedelic medicines directly into our culture. It was astonishing to me that I could walk down a street and I could go into a shop and I could buy truffles, which are a derivative of the mushroom, right off the street. It was lovely that you could walk down the street to the many coffee houses, in quotes, coffee house, for those of you who've been to Europe, and know that you could go into the coffee house and enjoy your cannabis with others. And so, very nice to just be able to have that experience and it be so seamless. I was walking in like, wow. I mean, they definitely thought I was weird because I wasn't accustomed to that. It isn't as woven into our culture. It isn't as woven into our society yet as they do in the Netherlands. Plus, it isn't something that we have to get a medical diagnosis or card to get. Real different, right? Real different. So our system is the medical model. And our system is good, and I accept, and I'm grateful. I am very grateful to be here. I don't want to be anywhere else. I'm here. I love Ocala. I love our community, and we're going to continue to grow this community. And we also have to realize that we're on the cutting edge to a certain degree. We are really on the forefront of helping people to understand both the psychedelic medicines, what they can and cannot do, and they're not for everybody. I'm not suggesting that. That's why I say the triune chord and the triune pathway, because it can be the potentiality of the psychedelic medicines. We'll talk about that a little bit, with the dream work and the ritual and ceremony. Bringing those three together, the triune pathway, is really what strengthens that inner understanding and inner knowing. So in the United States right now, especially in Florida, we have two options, right? What are those two options for medicines that are legal? Liquor and cannabis, also ketamine. But yeah, and you know, it's interesting because liquor is, mood altering, right? Lots of side effects, because I've worked in drug and alcohol rehab for many, many years, decades, and but not as many with the psychedelic medicines. Interesting, right? Paradox. So ketamine and cannabis are the two legal substances that especially I can use as a licensed mental health counselor here in our community. Although I'm super hopeful, and I'm going to bring back a little tiny bit of message. How many of you have heard of Rick Doblin and MAPS? Probably many, all right? So Rick was at the conference at the very day when they announced and everybody thought it was from the FDA, it was an ad hoc committee that said they had some concerns about the MDMA going through because we're right at the cusp of the MDMA being approved to use particularly for trauma and PTSD. And there's a lot of will behind this to create this opportunity. So the ad hoc committee is not the FDA. The ad hoc committee just informs or gives recommendations to the FDA. And you have to know Rick Doblin. He's a hopeful optimist. He does not feel as though these reports from the ad hoc committee are going to have much influence, that the FDA will begin the approval process for some limited use of the MDMA. And so that's hopeful, right? And as soon as that takes place, the next step obviously will be for the psilocybin. That should come very soon after that. So we're living in very interesting times, aren't we? So we have to get ready for this. And this is the place where we get ready. All right? So today we're going to talk about dreams. And I want to touch on some people who have been very influenced by their dreams and how this weaves into a little bit into inventions and creativity. How many of you would like to tap into a little bit deeper to your own inventiveness and creativity? Raise your hand. Me too. That's a big part of where our energy comes through, right? When we're creative and engaged and passionate about something, energy's right there. It's right there. So Einstein interestingly enough, reports that as a child, he had a dream. And in that dream, he was going down a slope and on a sled. So he's going down the sled on this slope, on this hill, and the sled takes off and he goes into infinity. Mm-hmm. And it inspires him to know something very deep and profound. This isn't all that there is. There is an infinity beyond this space-time continuum. So that dream stays with him for many, many years, and eventually he comes up with many good theories, E equals mc squared only being one of them. There's another story that I love about Elias Howe. Now, Elias Howe was he was trying to create a new way to sew. There was a time when all of our clothing was made by hand, right? Somebody sat down and they sewed the clothes together. Maybe some of you still do. That's a lovely art, and that's a great passion to sew. It's very kind of meditative. So Elias Howe wanted to create a sewing machine. He actually did eventually do that. But he was having trouble trying to understand how the thread and the needle and all of that is automated and goes through. So what he did, worked on it. This is a good clue for working with our dreams. Sometimes when we have a problem that needs to be solved, we can think about that problem and then sleep on it. You ever heard that, right? Just think about it, let it go, write it down in your journal next to your bed, and sleep on it. So he's in this dream. He's in a pot of boiling water, and he is being boiled for dinner, all right? And all of these natives are dancing around him, and they all have spears in their hand. And they're going up and down with the spears in their hands, and he notices that there's these big loops on the top of all of the spears. And he says, oh, that's it. The loop goes on the top, and he saw that loop, and he saw the needle in that spear, and he created the automated sewing machine. Our clothes that we are wearing today, that we have on, are part of that automation. This is part of how powerful our dreams can be. We can't solve the problem at the same level of consciousness that created it. Let's say that together. We can't solve the problem at the same level of consciousness that created it. So it's really important that we have to go to another level of consciousness. And sometimes it is about shifting perspectives. Now, I am curious, does the caterpillar know that inside of it is everything that it needs to become the butterfly? Does it know this? Does it have to know it? Does it need to know it? Maybe, maybe not. But the reality is, everything the caterpillar needs is already inside of it, right? Already there. And everything that you need to do whatever it is that you need to do is already inside of you. Turn to someone and say to them, everything you need is already inside of you. Just like the caterpillar, right? It's there. What do you want? Now we get to, what do you want? What do you want to do? What are you guided? What are you directed to do? So these insights and some of these peak experiences can come to us through our dreams. Now, I want you to just humor me for a minute. I want you to look as if you're looking through a telescope and just put your hand up to your eye and look like this for a minute. And what do you see when you can kind of like just look through your one eye through that? What's your vision look like? Very narrow, sharp, kind of restricted, obstructive? Yes. All right, thank you. That is, I try to think of what could I give as an example of the default mode network. All right? The default mode network in the brain is like this. Do you see? it only allows through a tiny trickle of what actually is available for us to see. Yes, that much, right? So at their best, what the psychedelic medicines and what dreams can do is open that trickle up. And it allows a full vision, a full perception, a full insight, even a peak experience that allows us to see much more. Now, it was important that we had the default mode network. I can't go into all of the history of it, but it has to do with Henri Bergson. It has to do with Darwin. It has to do with survival, right? Because there's sometimes we need this, right? It's like, oh no, I need to be able to focus my attention and get something done for my survival, right? So it's not bad, because we couldn't walk around like this, wide open all the time, right? So there's a balance, there's a timing, there's a kind of, we want to be able to focus when we need to focus, but we also need to be able to open up the aperture, if you will. We need to open up and let much more than the trickle come through. So we get that shift. Sometimes I like to call it the defrag, right? We need that little bit of defrag to kind of cleanse and let go and open up so that we can see much more clearly. And I want to just touch on some exciting things that have come from people being able to open that up. The double helix. Everybody know, remember science class, remember biology, remember the double helix? That, could you imagine seeing that in a journey with the medicine and knowing what it was? Here is a molecular biologist, Francis Crick, and he told his Cambridge friend, Dick Kemp, that he was surprised when he perceived the double helix while on LSD. Wow. Electronic brain stimulation. John C. Lilly was a neuroscientist, significant figure in the field of electronic brain stimulation, and he reported that he experimented with LSD and with ketamine. Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Carrie Banks Mullis, an American biochemist who won 1993 Nobel Prize. They don't talk about this on the podium, though. You know, it's like, thank you for this Nobel Prize. I just want to give credit to the LSD that helped me with this wonderful, brilliant idea that I was there inside of me all the time, but was released in its splendor through this experience with LSD. Imagine that. Steve Jobs, all right? The pioneer in personal computer revolution once reported that experimenting with LSD in the 1960s was one of 2 or 3 most important things he had done in his life. Interesting. Mathematical theories. Ralph Abraham, a prominent American mathematician, discussed how psychedelic insights had helped influence his mathematical theories. All right, let's shift to musicians. All right, what about the musicians? Music lovers are a community of people who have been touched by many and that have experienced psychedelic medicines and experienced. Some musicians across all musical genres have been deeply inspired by a variety of non-ordinary states of consciousness, including a partial list of the following. All right, anybody have a clue who might be on this list? The Doors, Bob Dylan, anybody else? Rolling Stones. Your list is bigger than mine. All right, how about Pink Floyd? How about the Beatles, I Am the Walrus? All right, Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit. All right, the Grateful Dead. Nobody said the Grateful Dead, I'm surprised. Oh, you did? We got the Grateful Dead over here. All right, Black Peter. Montreal, Lysergic Bliss. Jenny Lewis, Acid Tongue. Chance the Rapper, Acid Rain, The Flaming Lips. Did somebody say that? All right, you said it. You get it. Yeah. Battles with Battles the Pink Robots. So lots of people. And we're not going to leave out soul, jazz, and country, all right, because they're prominent too. The soul singer Ray Charles reported that LSD allowed him some version of sight and influenced his song, My World. Could you imagine? He's blind, but it gave him sight. He could see like he could not see before. Jazz great, John Coltrane. Anybody say Coltrane? All right, a regular LSD user? No. I mean, that means to some of this, when you hear it now, it goes, oh, yeah, that makes sense, all right? He used non-ordinary states to create music and have a spiritual experience that was reflected directly in his song, Om. Country singer Casey Musgrave's song, Slow Burn, wrote the song in one sitting on her porch, which was inspired by non-ordinary states in her laid-back time one evening. This is our place of inspiration, right? It feeds it, it nourishes it. Duane Allman, anybody say Duane Allman? No? All right, Southern Rock, invented by Duane Allman and the Allman Brothers, used psilocybin mushroom extract pills they took when they were jamming together in the morning. They get up, they take their medicine, and every band member except Warren Hayes had the mushroom tattooed on their calf. That's a little homage. Now, Paul Stamets. How many of you know who Paul Stamets is? Raise your hand. All right, great. Paul Stamets is a mycologist and author. I had the chance to meet him 2 years ago when I was at the conference in the Netherlands. And Paul, if you've ever seen Fantastic Fungi, have you ever seen the Fantastic Fungi? It's excellent. I highly, highly recommend it to you. Fantastic Fungi. And you really get to know Paul. You get to know his life, his experience, his expertise. He has been immersed in this for his most of his adult life, from the time he was in college. And I want to share a little bit of a story about Paul, because it weaves together this kind of combination. Paul was in Seattle, Washington, and he shares a story about his friends calling him and saying, look, buddy, we found this patch of psychedelic mushrooms right outside the Seattle police station. They don't even know what it is. This is amazing. And we were going over there to harvest it now. And Paul was like, I'm there, all right? They didn't know what it was, so they all go over there and they picked everything that they could in the field that was next to the police station, and they took it home and they processed it and they put it into smoothies and they drank it, and they had this wonderful experience. Geometric figures, just this wonderful kind of lifting out of their physical body, that sense of oneness and connectedness. So it was really, really nice. So Paul has that journey with his friends, and then he goes to sleep. It's about midnight. And he has a dream. And in this dream, he sees this flood that comes. And the flood is in this valley. And the valley becomes so flooded, there's hundreds of cows. And all the cows are dead and floating in this water. And so he wakes up. It's like an apocalyptic dream, right? He doesn't know what's going to happen. You know, is there going to be a nuclear attack? Are they going to melt those polar ice caps? Is everything going to get flooded? But he knows something is really seriously wrong. So he gets up and he tells his friends, all right? And so his friends are just like, Paul, chill, man. Oh, you're okay, all right? It was a dream, man. It's okay, you know? And they were kind of joking with him a little bit. And one of them said, it's Paul's doomsday, you know? And so one friend said, Paul, you know, I'm curious, if there was a day that this could happen, when do you think it might be, you know? And Paul said, well, I know it's on a weekend, and I think it's going to be fairly soon, in a couple of weeks. And so he looks at the calendar and he says, December 1st, December 1st. And so his friend just kind of writes Paul's doomsday on December 1st on the calendar. So Paul just has this real deep concern that There's something that's going to take place. And I wrote this in my book, and I want to share a little bit of it with you so that you can get a feel for his story. This was like no dream I had ever had. It was particularly foreboding, strangeness to that struck to the very core of my being. I feared there would be something like a nuclear war. The USSR would attack, the snow would melt, and the heat of the nuclear fireballs and cows would be killed from the ensuing floods. My friends were not taking me seriously. They began to joke. However, one person was curious enough to ask when this catastrophe would strike. And I said, December 1st. 2 weeks later, after torrential rains and nearly record-breaking snowfall in the Cascades, an unusual temperature inversion swept over western Washington. Temperatures soared in the mountains, and the sudden thaw turned brooks into raging rivers in a matter of hours. Trees, houses, bridges were flooded. My cabin, located only 20 feet from a glacial creek, was immediately in jeopardy. I knew that if I could not return quickly, all could be lost. My reference books, my manuscripts, all of my personal belongings. The next day, I drove back to Darrington, only to meet closures at one bridge after another. Finally, I drove a circuitous route, adding 100 miles to my trek to find that my cabin was still safe, but now 10 feet closer to the raging river. The next day, I packed everything and headed out to Olympia. As I entered the Snohomish Valley, I stared in disbelief at hundreds of cattle who, standing by the rising waters, had drowned overnight. It was December 1st, the exact day my dream had foretold. This single event shattered my concept of linear time. The future can be foreseen. Now I know what shamans have known for centuries. The psilocybin experience can facilitate precognition of the future, especially as in my case of an impending biological disaster. Now I understand why the Mazateks and Aztecs affectionately referred to psilocybes as the divinatory mushrooms, genius mushrooms, and wondrous mushrooms. They recognize that mushrooms are powerful sacraments and a significant evolutionary advantage for those sensitive enough to heed the call. For those sensitive enough to heed the call. And Paul says in this story in closing, the path is ancient, noble, and for many, holy. I hope that you will discover the capacity of the mushrooms to lead to a new type of consciousness. Be careful, observant, respectful, and wise. The mushroom will be your teacher. Isn't that fantastic? Wow. Wow. And I really like what he said at the end. It can lead to a new type of consciousness, but we have to be careful. This is not recreational. You see, it's done with intention. It's done in a group. It's done with a mindfulness. Be respectful and wise. The mushroom will be your teacher. All right, so I want you to think about a dream that you may have had, all right? A dream, any dream that you may have had over the last few weeks or few months, or maybe it's a dream that really kind of like came to you and it's been there. It's, kind of like in the background, and you've been thinking about it, or maybe every so often it kind of pops up into the conscious level again. And I want you, as we're going through these dreams, one of the ways that we can really get a lot out of our dreams is by understanding what type of dreams Now, Paul's dream, you're going to see as we go through this, was kind of a premonition dream, right? That was a premonition dream. We can have premonition type dreams that can help us, to guide us, to give us some insight, awareness, and give us some warnings. So think of the dream that you had, and as we go through these, I want you to kind of see the type of dream it might have been, because it can be the first step to understanding your dreams just a little bit better. All right? Nightmares are kind of an obvious one. They often occur during times of stress when the conscious and unconscious mind are trying to work together. Factors influencing the nightmare may include internal psychological factors and stressful external life changes. Okay, so that's what happens with nightmares. We all have these at times. You know, if you're working with Carl Jung, and I would say probably in my own kind of background, in my own kind of education, my own journey, I'm probably a Jungian at heart. Every single one of my therapists were Jungian therapists, except for maybe one, you know, and so that type of work was really interesting to me, and I was steeped in that in my own journey. And if you would go to Carl Jung and you would say, oh, I had a nightmare, Carl Jung would go, yes, you know, and sometimes I say that to, you know, the people I'm working with too. You had a nightmare. All right, you're ready. The energy is there. It's being released. It's accessing you through the nightmare. So nightmares are not to be like feared or avoided. They actually help us a great deal and release a lot of energy. Lucid dreams. In these dreams, you're awake and know you are awake while you are dreaming, so you can have more influence on how the dream plays out. I'll give you one real quick example of this. I call it the crystal forest dream. I had a dream that I was looking out at a crystal forest. There was a guide that was kind of almost like an angelic guide that was next to me and was showing me the crystal forest. And then my mom and dad were on the other side of me. So I'm looking at the crystal forest, and in these trees, I could see every single bit of energy. I could see it as if it was alive. Every leaf, every stem, every branch, down to the roots. I could see all the life energy just surging through these trees, and the whole forest was just glistening as if it was iridescent. And this gorgeous, gorgeous light and life energy that was a part of the forest, which is part of the forest, all right? So that's why it's good for us to go to the forest and be in the forest and immerse ourselves in the trees, because they have that energy. And I'm just there, I'm like, wow, this is spectacular. Look at this. And I look over at my mom and dad, and although they're looking at the very same forest, they can't see any of it. Nothing. And I'm shocked. And I look at the guide, and I say, no, they can't see it. And the guide, and this is really typical in dreams too, you'll see this. Many times our guides and teachers, they don't use words like we do. This takes a lot of energy, you know. This is like to articulate and understand, and it takes a lot. They just speak telepathically all the time, you know. They're talking to us, but they don't have to move their lips or say words, you know, like we do. They're just speaking to us. And all my guide did was just went like this. Not one word, just shook his head back and forth. And in that moment, it was a real eye-opener for me, because I realized not only my mom and dad couldn't see the crystal forest, they couldn't see me either. They couldn't see me in my fullness, or know or see the things that I had seen up to that point or would see in years to come. And it really was a very healing moment for me, because I stopped pouring energy into making them see me, accept me, understand me. I got in that moment. They're not going to be able to. Not fully, not completely. And so it was okay for me to let go of the need, right, to have them see me or approve of me or understand me, right? And as we mature in our life, we get that, you know? We get that. It's like, it's okay if the people, and it's kind of paradoxical because this life is paradoxical, all right? A lot of paradoxes. The people who love us the most may not understand us the most. You gonna get that? And so the more energy we put behind trying to make that happen, it's kind of like an energy that could be used for something else. You see, it's not that we don't continue to be in relationship or continue loving and just accept that they can only accept a part of us, right? They're looking at us like this, right? I can only see this much. I can't see this much. And it's okay. It's okay. So that's a lucid dream. And you can see I was fully engaged in participating in the dream as I'm having the dream. And some of the lucid dreams are like that. Problem-solving dreams. In these dreams, a new perspective is revealed or a solution to a problem is found. Many inventions, including the sewing machine, which I spoke of, have come from these dreams. So when you're reinventing your life right now, pay attention to your dreams. They will help you with the problem-solving. Symbolic dreams. Metaphorically, something is revealed, which gives some insight or instruction. The symbol can be viewed as part of our self-knowing, personal development, and insight. One of the symbolic dreams that I think is really powerful that happens to me is getting a download. Does anybody, when I say that, do you know what that means? Yes, I see some hands going up. That means that we get this huge information. It's almost like files, you know? And it's just like, it's like, oh my goodness. I am getting the download, right? It's amazing. It gives us so much information. Now, it takes a time. It's like eating a big gourmet meal. It takes time to digest the download, all right? So you've got to give yourself time to do this healing work and to work in this progressively. So when you get the digital download, love it, appreciate it, have gratitude for it, and then just open the files, you know? We can get a lot of insight, but if, you know, in the Bible it talks about dreams as God sends his dreams to his beloved, or I like to say God sends her dreams to her beloved. Yes, yes. Because God is the masculine and the feminine of both of us. And so we get this insight, we get this, and so we have to open up the mail. If these are love letters that are sent from Spirit, open your mail. Right? Open your mail. Sometimes it's all there, but we just haven't opened it up. Open the file, open the download. Just go through it progressively. All right, telepathic dreams. The dream contains messages that reveal something that has happened in another place that you may or may not know has happened. But the dream realm has this extraordinary extrasensory ability to perceive it. I'm going to give you a really short example on this. My oldest son, was in Japan, and he was in Tokyo. He had just arrived in Tokyo. He was doing it as a kind of exchange program. He was going to be there for a full year in Tokyo. It was his first day, and I was in my dream, and I was kind of like hovering over him, and he looked distressed, and he looked lost. All right? Now, if you know, Japan is about how many hours? I mean, it's like 12 hours, 14 hours, something like that difference. So I'm dreaming, I'm with him, I'm kind of watching over him as he's lost, and I feel compelled to call him as soon as I wake up, which was when he was going to bed. And I said, wow, how are you doing? He goes, I had a really rough day today. I got lost in Tokyo. And I said, yeah, I know. I was with you. I was like, he was really distressed. And so the dream, and here's this other thing. We're connected to the people that we love through dreams much more than we realize. And that becomes more apparent as you watch your dreams. Pleasure dreams. These dreams can be like a mini vacation during the night or serve to give some comfort to someone with something. The fantasy is lived out in the dream and can reduce anxiety and bring some needed internal self-soothing. You know what the most pleasurable dream is? Anybody got a guess? Flying! Ding, 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 ding. Yes, flying. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Have you ever had that sensation in a dream where you're like, you jump and you're flying and you're like, oh, I did it. I can fly. This is amazing. And so that is such a big endorphin kind of boost when we have those dreams. So that's a wonderful, pleasurable dream. We won't go into all the other pleasurable dreams. We have a private life. It's okay to have a private life, right? We don't have to share everything. In fact, some things are better not to share. Very pleasurable, but all right, communal or mutual dreams. Okay, I already gave you an example. I said I was getting prepared for this talk, and as I was getting prepared, the dream came, and it said, I'm working in a house of healing with others. Here we are. And it said, all of us have gifts to bring. Yes, we do. All of us are healers. Yes, we are. And all of us are healing. Yes. So that was a wonderful communal or mutual dream. Current event dreams, things happening in your life, in your community, your workplace, your country, or the world may come up in dreams. These representations may also be metaphoric or symbolic, right? So, I mean, there has been times, and maybe some of you can relate to this as well, where I've had almost like kind of apocalyptic end of the world dreams. And we have to kind of take those in context, all right? It may or may not be pointing to something like that in our bigger scheme of things, but it could be an ending of something in our personal life, right? So it could be in the bigger picture of things, or it can be in the small scope of our own human existence. Visitation dreams. These dreams are characterized by a visit from an ancestor or a person who has recently died. A family member, pet, or a friend may come to visit in your dreams. These dreams may include divine beings, wisdom teachers, and historical figures. How many have had visitation dreams? Raise your hand. See, almost everybody in the room is raising their hands. This is such a wonderful dream to have. I want to share one just really quickly. It's so touching. You know, my family had this tradition that if we were traveling and we went somewhere, as soon as we got there, we would call and say, hey, I'm here, everything's good, I arrived. And so unexpectedly, one of my uncles passed away, my Uncle Bob. And he was one who always did this kind of tradition of calling. And so it was one of those, had a massive heart attack, died pretty immediately, and there was, it was a big shock and a big loss. So I had a dream that night. And in the dream, my cell phone rings. And it's Uncle Bob. And I was like, I picked up, I go, hello? He goes, hey, how you doing? He sounded so good, so happy. I go, great, how are you? He goes, I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I was like, oh, good. His son is named Mike. I said, Mike told me you died. He goes, oh, yeah. It's like, but I just want to let you know, I arrived. I'm here. Yes, yes, yes. So we can have these types of visitations. And I shared that it is memorial, of course, right? It brought some healing. It brought a little bit of closure, too. Spiritual dreams. These dreams are often revelations, sometimes prophetic, and can show something beyond this world's life, spiritual or transpersonal dimensions. I would say probably for me, one of the biggest, and it was almost more like a visceral kind of visitation, is I was going through a really, really difficult, painful time of my life. This was many decades ago, and I was making really important decisions that were going to affect a lot of people's lives. And I was struggling hard to try to know what is the right thing to do. And that's all I really wanted to do, is just to show me somehow the right path to take. And I'm laying in bed, I'm sleeping, and have you ever had that sense that somebody's in the room? So I had this sense that somebody was in the room. I sat up, bolt straight up in the bed, and standing at the end of my bed was Jesus. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh my. I said, you know what I said? Oh, Jesus. I was like, and then it was like, oh, Jesus. Wow. There was no exchange other than the presence. And that's all I needed, right? I needed to connect. I just needed to know I'm connected to my source. And Jesus, for me, is a way shower, is a teacher of many teachers. I respect all paths of all teachers. Look, we're all trying to get to the mountaintop, right? Pick a path, right? Pick a path. Which is best for you? Which resonates for you? And for me, Jesus and Mary, they have graced me with their presence. And Mary comes to me sometimes, and the presence of Mary is so healing because her heart opens up to me and light pours out of her heart, and she fills my body with her essence, with her light. It's almost as if she's breastfeeding me with her healing light energy. And I just love receiving it and let it fill me and let it flow through me. Those are healing, prophetic dreams that can be incredibly transformational. So that's the healing dreams. And reoccurring dreams. These dreams repeat themselves over and over with the same scene playing repeatedly. This can also happen over many, many, many years if you have a reoccurring dream. A real brief dream that represents this reoccurring dream. And it shows how to put this whole thing together, too. In the recurring dream that I had, I was being chased by a cat. And his cat was attacking me, biting me, scratching me, chasing me. And I was running from the cat, running for all the, this was the reoccurring part of the dream. And so I finally kind of came to this place where I understood that cat, because here's how we work with the dreams. How do we understand the dream from a symbolic level for ourselves? You could dream of a cat, you're a big cat lover, and it's like, oh, a cat. And I'm dreaming of a cat that's chasing and attacking me, and I'm like, oh no, the cat's back again. I'm being chased and attacked and bitten by the cat. And so the cat, for me, was my feminine power, okay? My power as a woman came represented as the cat. And instead of using my feminine power in the best way possible, what was it doing? Attacking me, right? I wasn't effectively utilizing my own power. So I did a little ritual with this. I was at a workshop, and we had butcher block paper laid out on the floor, and we outlined the body. So I laid down, somebody outlined my body, and I drew myself as the cat, right? Tail, whiskers, I had it all going on, right? I was the cat. In affirming that I can have my power as a woman, I can hold on to my power works with me and for me. And I had another dream, right? Because the dreams will show you your progression. And in this dream, a white tiger came to me. And the white tiger represents our spiritual power, that feminine spiritual power embodied by the white tiger. And the white tiger was just a small tiger, it wasn't a full-grown tiger. And my oldest daughter at that time was quite a bit younger, and she was in my dream, and I said to her in the dream, we're going to learn how to raise this cat. We're going to learn how to raise this cat. And so as a ritual kind of coming out of the dream, I bought myself a white tiger that when you squeezed it, it purred. And I bought her a white tiger. So we both had that symbolic representation of our power as women. So that kind of takes you through the whole process. Now, some people can read this and look at this and they can say, they can play music, right? That's quite a gift. But these are symbols, right? And it takes time to learn to read these symbols. We need to remember how these are actually symbols for a music that can be then created. But you have to learn to read the symbols and the metaphors. We have to have a dialogue process. And so I began to have that dialogue process with the tiger, with the cat, with my power, so that I began to then take what the dream and the insight and the awareness had to share with me and bring it into my conscious, unconscious, and lived life experiences. So here's the steps, and this comes from Robert Johnson. What we want to do, and this comes from his book, Inner Work, make associations, connect dream images to inner dynamics, interpreting and doing rituals to make the dream concrete. So the cat was making the association with my power, connecting dream images to inner dynamics. It's how could I be a powerful woman? How could I show my daughter how she could be a powerful woman as well? Interpreting that, and then the ritual was both the drawing and the buying of the little white tiger to kind of remember that. So those, and it's a good idea if this is in the book, but also please feel free to take pictures of this too, so that you remember these steps. All right? Now, you're going to get a chance to do a little bit of work with your dreams. So we're going to do an in vivo dream experience. All right? So you've got a card, and I want you to write down a question. And this is a good way to prompt your dreams too. There's index cards and pens. You're going to write down a question. And I just want to give you a little taste of this so that we can do this a little bit together. And I have some cards that I'm going to pass out. And I do want the cards back, but please feel free to take a picture of the cards. They come from this deck. It's called the Power Deck, Cards of Wisdom. And you'll see on one side of the card is a picture, right? And so I want you to write your question, and I want you to write what the picture first, the metaphor, the symbols. If it's a tree on there, what does a tree represent to you? If it's a waterfall, if it's a flower, if it's a shape, if it's space, whatever it is. This is by Lynn Andrews. These are really wonderful cards. I've used them for many, many years. So I want you to ask a question because our answers are always available to us. Work first with the image or the picture, and then flip it over and see what the card has to say about your question. All right, everybody clear on that? So Rita's got a basket, and she's going to be passing out these cards. I don't want you to necessarily like pick one, just like don't look at them and pick, but just draw one. Think about your question and draw a card out. All right? Think about your question and draw a card out. Yeah? Oh, all right. All right. So think about your question and look at the symbols and the images on the card first. All right? Just pick one and trust whatever one you get is the one you're supposed to have. There we go. And look at the image in the picture first. And see what the image or the picture has to say about your question. See what the image or the picture has to say about your question. Okay. And again, work with the images first, the metaphors, the symbols, right? There you go. All right. Okay. So write it just a couple of words. This is just a little quick touch in. It gives you a more of an experience of what does it feel like to work with some of these images. I think these cards, more than any other I've seen, have such fascinating imagery on them. There's so many different perspectives that you can see. Some of them are connected to the universe, other worlds, other dimensions. By the way, it's really easy to travel to other dimensions in our dream. It's very easy to do. One of the ways that they've described it to me and my own guides and teachers is walking between worlds. And that's what the dreams allow us to do. The dreams allow us to walk between the worlds. So kind of take the image in the picture, see what it has to say about your question. Now, after you've done that, made a few notes, when you're ready, turn the card over and read what the symbols represent and read what it says and how that relates to your question. All right? See how what is on the card relates to your question. And then write a few more words or a few sentences on what the card represents or says about your question. Okay. And once you've read it, and just write a few words of what it says to you about your question, I want you to share whatever you feel comfortable with, or you don't have to share it all. It's totally your choice. But if you choose to share it, just share a little bit of perhaps what your question was and what insight or did you see with the images, the metaphors, the pictures, or the words that were on the other side. Just share with someone and someone shares with you. All right? So choose, you could turn around, front and back, side to side. Share if you choose to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But just what kind of insight or information or awareness did you have from working with this image, working with this picture, working with the insights that are written on the card? And we'll just take a couple of minutes to do that together. Okay, some good sharing going on. I invite you to take a picture of the card front and back with your phone so that you can continue to kind of work with the information, kind of deepen your understanding of what the card is sharing with you so that you can use that like an in vivo or in life dream experience. All right. Was that a good experience for you? Some nice insights? It's a little bit of a practice, and that's what we need to do. We need to practice being able to read the symbols and the pictures and the metaphors and relate them to our life. All right. I'm just going to conclude really briefly now. Thank you so much for your amazing quality of attention, for your love that you shared with me, for allowing me to present on a topic that I'm so passionate about, and I hope that it nourished and fed your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Thank you so very, very much. Yes, yay! Thank you. Thank you. The dream meditation is available free on my website, gaylyn.net. You can download it and listen to it every night before you go to sleep, and it'll prep you for working with your dreams. There was a couple of announcements. Did those? Not yet? Okay. All right. Those are at the end? Did those get included? Got it. Excellent. Very good. I love it. All right. Justin, Joyful Noise is going to be returning. They have a wonderful song for us. Is this a song where they're invited to participate? Okay. At the very end. All right. All right. As they're getting set up, I just want to give thanks for Joyful Noise, for the music and the rehearsing. Oh, Joyful Expression. Oh, thank you. You changed it. All right, I love it. I like expression better. I do. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Joyful expression, which is what we all want to do. We want to be a joyful expression in our life. I also want to thank, and I hope you noticed as you came in, did you see how much the parking lot has improved? Yes, let's give thanks to all the green gardeners and those who helped. Can you raise your hands? They rode tractors, they raked, they did so much work on that parking lot and getting that all prepped up. Reed is coming around to collect the cards. My sweetheart is not feeling well, so he was home today, and so just sending him lots of love and healing light, and I know he's going to be better. He wasn't feeling well, but he was still out here, bringing in the tractor and the backhoe. No, what was that? I don't even know what it's called. Bobcat?
It was a Kubota.
A Kubota, okay. A big machine that pushes earth and mulch, and thank you for all the wonderful things that are happening here at the center. I'm happy that you're a part of it, and I'm happy for all of the improvements that have been made. Air conditioning's been upgraded and updated by an angel donor. Thank you so much, angel donors. We appreciate you. Woo! Yes. And without further ado, please welcome Joyful Expressions. Woo!
Source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks gives me everything I need. And I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything, everything I need.
All right, let's hear it again for Joyful Expression. Yes. Yes. Whoops. There we go. All right. Next month, Metaphysics and Mysticism, Knowing Beyond Knowing, fourth Sunday of the month. Please come and enjoy that with me as I'll be presenting on metaphysics and mysticism. It's going to be excellent, foundational for understanding. There are counseling services that are available here at the center. A portion of all that returns to the center. So please see me. There is a workshop Saturday, August 3rd. I do need 3 more people to participate. I have flyers up here. I'll give them to Rita, if you would be so kind, just to ask Rita, and I'll make sure that you get those. It has a whole itinerary on the back. Equine and ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? This is Tudor Farm. Sherry Villa's here today. Let's just give her a round of applause. So this is her place. This is what we do there. It's absolutely magnificent. So I invite you to come. That next one is going to be September the 20th. I am doing a 6-week training session so you can learn how to do what I do and others are doing with psychedelic streams and rituals with the Psychedelic Association in Orlando and Dr. Lori Maddox. The date is changed a bit. It's going to be mid-September that we're going to be starting on this. So all these modules will be covered so you can do some of the facilitation work just the same way that I'm doing it and add to your own toolbox and creativity and expand on it from there. I ask a big favor. Those reviews on Amazon make a big difference. As Rita shared that one, please do so. It's trending in audiobooks. I'm super thankful and grateful for that on Amazon. Yes. And today, Haley is going to be facilitating the Free Psychedelic Integration Circle. It will circle the chairs around right over here, and Haley will be facilitating that. Just give them a little. She's multitasking right now. She's nourishing and nursing her son, and she's going to be facilitating the integration circle. I think that's amazing, don't you? Woo! Yes. All right. Thank you so much. And we're celebrating our abundance. I ask that you give abundantly to the center, as the center has given abundantly to each and every one of us. It is the nature of life. Let's read this together as we're thinking out of our abundance. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously, receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so we give. There's many ways to give. You can text to give. The basket's coming around. And please know that every dollar, every energy of volunteering that you give here gets multiplied tenfold, not only here at the center to bless many, but also to bless your own life. The Spirit Monthly newsletter is out. If you would like to sign up for that, just go to cslocala.org. Please invite others to come and join our family here, learn and grow together. Events coming up. We've got the Integration Circle. Following today, Attraction and Reciprocal Nature, a year-long Foundations of Science of Mind course. We invite you to sign up for this. Anybody have any other, Cole, do you know how they can sign up for this? See Cole and Rich over there handling all of our media. There's also prayer request forms. We all pray with you. So know that those will be, raise your hand if you would like a prayer request form. Dance movement as a spiritual practice with Angela Howard. Do we have a date on this? This is first Sunday, spiritual practice. Right. The first Sunday of every month is spiritual practice, and our spiritual practice for this month will be with Angela Howard, dance and movement as a spiritual practice. And it's going to be fantastic. As above, so below, as within, so without, the law of correspondence. It's going to be Sunday, August the 11th. And attraction and reciprocal nature, August 24th, is going to be our Circle Sunday. So you see that theme is going to be carried out all the way through the month of August. Okay? All right. Third Sunday. All right. Yes. Everything's going to be in the newsletter. Thank you, Melissa. Very good. And she's new, and she already caught on. All right. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah. Volunteer opportunities. Rich? All right. I love it. Go to the events page on the website, cslocala.org. All right. And you can see all the events, times, dates, and come and join us. Lunch is prepared for all of us to participate in, so please feel free to get a little bit of nourishment, and then we're going to turn it around in here. We're going to have our psychedelic integration circle. Volunteer opportunities, please see Cole. We have lots of opportunities to be a part of this community in ways that are fun, easy, and help support the center. And the blessing of our children, Christina. And then we have one more song from Joyful Expression. And they, right?
Children, children,
Okay,
children.
they're gonna play while you're eating.
Any
All
kids
right.
or parents holding children, feel free to come up on the stage to receive, so the kids can get their blessings. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands together and we're going to rub to kind of get that energy flowing. Oh, kids are from the back. Anybody? Thank you. We'll wait for them to get up here. And when they do, we're going to give them some energy.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it shine, shine, every day, shine, shine, you know you want to, shine, shine, all around the world, shine, shine, yeah.
Anybody else come up? There we go. Come on, Autumn. Get up here, Zay. Looking spiffy, Zay. Looking spiffy. Come on, babe.
Everywhere I go, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it
Okay, so we're going to put our hands together, rub them, point it at the kids, or you can also point it at, we'll do that a second one. And we're going to say, we honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is. And we also want to recognize the child that's inside of us, that child within our inner child. We want to bless that child too. So feel free to turn those hands to yourself, to your heart, and do it again. We honor you. We see your light. May it shine on all that you do. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and we're going to say our prayer for protection. Oh, and just before we do this, we also have, we want to do a blessing for the food. We're going to have breakfast in the back, provided by several members. Nice collaborative effort this morning to get us some food and nourishment. So we're going to have that, and that's all right. For the prayer for protection, we'll bring it back in a second. I feel like, okay. All right.
The light
Of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. And Joyful Expressions are going to be leading us with some music, so feel free to walk around if you'd like, or sit and enjoy it. Get your food and come back and enjoy it. Feel free.